everyone, it's Tawney. As you can tell, I'm in a different setup. This is not my bathroom. This is not a bedroom in my apartment. I'm actually dog sitting for my mom's boss. So I thought while I was here and doing my makeup for the morning, I would show you what stuff I pack whenever I travel. And honestly, I don't travel very often. I don't usually have to pack to-go bags with my makeup. I used to, more so in the past, I mean before the pandemic, and then before, like, when it wasn't just me traveling, if you catch my drift. But, I'm not one to, like, travel by myself, especially to places where I would, like, need to stay overnight, you know what I mean? Unless I would go to, like, an aunt or my grandma's house or something like that, if that makes sense. But typically, I do not travel alone. At least not, like, super far places. I remember the last time I had packed a bag to go anywhere. It was 4th of July. And I stayed in, like, the sketchiest motel in the sketchiest town. But, yeah. Never doing that again. So, I just used the NYX Angel Veil primer because that's like my favorite one, and I know that like I like the way that it looks on my skin no matter like what I take with me, what I wear, what's going on in terms of like the weather and you know the heat and everything. And it is like freezing cold outside. I had to take the dogs out earlier, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's cold. I don't like the cold, so these next couple months are going to be great. I'm already not looking forward to them at all. Oh, that's nice. I'm so glad all that makeup got on his hair. Well, you're going to get ripped out. So there. I hate those long straggly hairs that aren't good for anything but getting either in your makeup, in your food, or just like pissing you off, you know? Like, so irritating, you know? But whatever. I brought a beauty blender, but I also brought my Real Techniques buffing brush. I think, yeah, expert face brush. It's basically the same thing. But I typically like to use this to get the foundation, you know, smoothed out and over my skin. I'm using the Wet n Wild Dewy Photo Focus Foundation. It's like one of my favorites, and I haven't used it in a while, so I was like, well, why don't I pack it with me? And I'm not far from my apartment, so if I needed different makeup or wanted to swap something out or didn't feel like wearing this makeup and wanted to change it to something different, I could always just run back and grab it. But the dogs that I'm dog sitting are a little bit more like needy of my attention, so I have to like be available, you know what I mean, to be here at all times. Because the one is a puppy and he needs my attention. It's like right now he's chewing on something. I need to do is stop him from chewing on it. Yep. 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 Drop it. Drop it. Thank you. No, you don't need to be chewing on that. These dogs, I'm telling you, I'm not a dog person. I like dogs. I have a dog at my parents' house, but it's my dad's dog, so technically he's not really my dog. I would consider myself a cat person. I would actually consider myself to be a rabbit person because my rabbits sleep in a pen, and then during the day they hang out. We have like open pens that we can put them in the yard, so they're not like they're standing on the grass, but they have something keeping them from like running away or getting attacked by like birds. Because I know that birds like to attack rabbits. What are you boys doing? But yeah, so I prefer rabbits just because I feel like A, they're easier to deal with. B, they have like such a good personality compared to like other animals. Like they can be gentle and sweet, or they can be like, I don't want to say mean, but like mean and aggressive in a way. that like they like assert their dominance regardless of gender, might I add. I've had several female rabbits that have been like, they're queens, basically. That's how I would like, they run the place. And I think the males just kind of like accept it because, you know, like, I don't know. The males I've had have always been so nice and so sweet. I had a rabbit that we think something was wrong with it when we got it, but we didn't know it. Like the woman that we bought it from didn't tell us. And he was 2, and he was a Flemish giant, so he's one of those big meat rabbits. And his name was Julie, as I called him. And he was the sweetest bunny I have ever had. And I only had him a couple months because, like I said, he got sick. Something happened, and he ended up getting sick. And then within like 16 hours, something around that time, he had passed away from when I noticed that he was like severely bad. And it was to the point that there wasn't really anything we could do. And at the time, we didn't really have enough money to like go to the vet. So it was kind of like, we wanted to know that it was like to the point that we had to go to the vet. And by then it was like too late. But it was mainly because like he got sick all of a sudden. And then there was like nothing more that could have been done. Like it was just, it was bad. And I feel really bad for him because he was such a sweet bunny. But he would hop up to me if I took him in the house to like let him play and stuff. He would hop up to me, and it's like he would sit right at my feet, and then he would kind of like nudge my feet, which meant he wanted me to pet him. So with my toes, I would like scratch his nose like right here, and he'd just like push his head out because he liked it. And if I stopped, he would come back and nudge my foot again because he wanted more attention. And it was like the sweetest thing. And none of my other rabbits have ever done that before. So it was like so cool to have this rabbit that like craved attention to the point that like he didn't like it when you didn't play with him and stuff. And he was so chill, so relaxed. Like, oh, he was just so sweet. Oh, the concealer I used was the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer, and the powder is the Milani Prep Set and Go. I have not been able to find that. I went to CVS and Walmart looking for it. Like I was just looking at makeup, but I was looking for it whenever I was in the Milani section, and they had something similar to it at CVS, but there was no specific place for it. Like I found it sitting in the wrong spot, but then whenever I wanted to put it back in the right spot, there was no like right spot for it to go. And then I lost the dog. I found one dog, I lost the other dog. But I couldn't find it at all at Walmart. And I had heard from Emily Noel that they think it's either getting phased out, or they're not selling it, or it might be being discontinued, which is like horrifically awful, you know, because I love this stuff. It's like my favorite powder to use currently. Like I could probably switch. I do like the NYX finishing, or I guess it's setting powder. I don't know if it's finishing powder, setting powder, but they do have a banana one and a white one, and I have both. And I could always do the white one. I know I like the banana one, so I could always switch to that if I wanted. But this is just the one that I know works for me, so I don't know. And I do like the Rimmel Stay Matte powder. What? I like the Rimmel Stay Matte powder, but it is like it's a matte powder, so I don't know how I feel about like like using it all over, especially with like a look like this. Like whenever I want it to be more dewy, it's like, do I want to put a matte powder on? What? You want attention, don't you? Yeah. That is Teddy, you hear. Now I'm putting on the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Powder in Buff Beige. Yes, 725. If you watched my bronzer video where I ranked all my bronzers, this was my winning bronzer, I believe. Or maybe it was like the top 2. I told my sister yesterday I felt like I had cheated when using this one because it's not necessarily a bronzer, but it's what I use for bronzer. Like if I want to set the outer perimeters of my face a little bit more, or just want things to be a little bit more set down, I like to use this bronzer because I feel like it can help with that. But then it also makes everything look really nice and smooth and just like, I don't know. I don't have to worry about any texture or anything like that. And my nose is like extra textured, which I don't understand why it gets like that. It gets very dry, even though my T-zone is usually very oily. So it's like whenever I start doing my makeup, it's super dry, but then later in the day, it's like oil city. So like, I don't understand that. Now I'm going in with the Physicians Formula Butter Blush in Saucy Mauve. I didn't know what blush to grab, and I have 3 Physicians Formula butter blushes that are sitting out on my desk of like makeup I use on a regular basis. So I was like, well, I'll just take one of those, and then I was trying to like coordinate it with my work outfit, which is the shirt and the pants I'm wearing. So I wanted to make sure that it would like, they would look good together. So I was like, well, I'll just take that and make it work. Okay, this is my highlighter brush. I brought the ABH and Amrezy highlighter, but I also bought the Revlon Skin Lights, and I think I'm going to use that today. They're basically like the same type of highlighter. They both add a bit of gold glow to your face. I think the Amrezy one's a little bit more like in your face, but like in a good way. This one's a little bit more like maybe a gloss. Like it adds that sheen, but without being like too overly intense. I really like it. I was kind of surprised I liked it. I wanted to like it though because of the packaging, because I thought the packaging was really pretty. I mean, it kind of sucks that like, or like the way that it's pressed in that like scale type thing. I just think that's really cool. Oh my gosh. I knew I was forgetting something. I knew it. I knew I was forgetting something. Forgot mascara. Oh my gosh. And that's like my favorite step of doing my makeup. Like, it's my least favorite in terms of like applying it, but it's my like favorite part. So now I'm bummed. I forgot my, lost my train of thought. I forgot to do my mascara once, and then I was like just lost all day. I was like, what am I supposed to do with the rest of my day? Like, it was so dumb. But I was like, this is what I was like, I don't know how to do my makeup or what. Like, I looked so weird because I didn't have the mascara, which is kind of dumb. But, so I'm using the Wet n Wild Coffin Break eyeshadow palette, which if you've watched my fall palette video, I mentioned this one in there, that I wanted to buy it and then found it in my collection, and I was like, oh, it's so cool. It was one that I was like really interested in, and I ended up already having it. So I'm using the transition shade at the top, the brown one, and just I was using rubbing, but just putting that all in my transition. It looks a little bit yellow, although it could be because maybe I did use a yellow on this brush, but that's not a problem because I don't mind it. I hear a loud truck noise and I'm like, are you cleaning the streets today? Because, like, go on the streets that I don't need to take to get to work. Because I literally, where I'm at dog sitting, I'm like 2 minutes from my job. Like, I'm like up the hill and over a couple streets from where my office is. Which is really cool because then I don't have to like worry about running late or anything because I'm like literally right here. And like this morning I'm taking longer than normal because I don't normally do my makeup for work, which is sad because I like wearing makeup to work and I like showing off my makeup skills and like how cute my makeup looks for the day. But I just never wake up with enough energy to do my makeup, if that makes sense. So I went in with the matte brown, the darker brown at the bottom, and put that on my outer corner. And now I'm going in with transition just to kind of put it under my lower lash line. I never really do anything fancy with my lower lash line. I did something once with my lower lash line. It was like with a red look, and everyone thought it was stupid. But then again, none of those people understand makeup. So like I should have seen that coming. But like I just felt really conscious of the fact that like I had all this makeup like down into here. And I don't know, it just like, I didn't like it. And I kind of like just like the regular brown. Like, I know I shouldn't let other people's like opinions of their makeup and things like that bother me, but it was just something that, like, you know. I'm gonna go in with this shade, this one right here, and I'm going to put that on my lid. I'm going very plain and basic. There's not a whole lot of pigment to this, which I think you have to build up, which kind of sort of sucks. Like, I'm digging my finger into it, and it's not really, like, showing up a whole lot. But it's a very pretty color. Why are you scratching your feet? You went outside, I watched you pee. What are you doing? I already had to clean up poop from one dog. We went outside. He didn't want to come back in. So I'm like, okay, I'll be patient. I'll wait, even though it was freezing. And then he comes back in and poops on the carpet. Like, what? Like, you know? I don't understand. Okay, I like this, but I wish that the, like, this shimmery gold shade would have been a little bit more intense. Because right now it's just like, it's just meh. I like the palette, but I'm starting to like, if I could find these same shades in other palettes, then I think I would like skip on this palette. Just because like the fact that I have to work extra hard to make the look nice is a little bit like, I'm not a big fan of that, you know? So now I'm going back in with the Skin Lights highlighter and putting that on my brow bone and inner corner, just to kind of give it a little bit more glow. I apologize for not having mascara. If I did, it would either be NYX On The Rise or the Falsies Lash Lift or something by Maybelline. Those are my two like favorite highlighters or mascaras, sorry, that I would take if I brought any. Now I'm going in with the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink Liquid Lipstick in the shade Amazonian. It looks like this. This is my favorite formula. I'm not sure why I went with this shade, because it's a little bit more like orange. But it's okay, because the formula in these are really good. And I know this will last me all day. I almost feel like I should have had a lip liner, but I don't use lip liner a whole lot, so that's just like not my thing. It should be my thing, but it's not my thing. But yeah. And then I also packed the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray and then the L'Oreal Lumi Shake and Glow Dew Mist, just because those are my two like favorite sprays. And then depending on like what kind of a look I want to do, I can either go matte or I can go dewy with my look. And I just went in with the Morphe one for today. I think that looks pretty nice. I wish I would have had my mascara, but you know, it is what it is. I have to deal with what I have. I have to work with what I got. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and my chit-chatting about makeup and dogs and animals. Let me know what your favorite animal is down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and ring the notification bell down below so you get notified when I upload. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!